Welcome to round 1 of the world's 2010 tournament run at Full Grip Games on the night before the Destined Rivals 6K. On the left we have Dylan piloting Gardevoir. Dylan's deck aims to set up Gardevoir and uses Telepass Pokepower to copy the opponent's supporters in the discard pile to outvalue the opponent while locking them out of all Pokepowers with Gardevoir's Psychic Lock attack. On the right we have Cole piloting LuxChomp. Cole's game plan is to use a combination of GardeGallade C's Dragon Rush and Luxray GL's Bright Look Pokepower to take quick and easy prize cards using the Cyrus's Conspiracy engine and a suite of other SP attackers. Dylan's opening hand contains Lucian's Assignment, Baltoy, 2 Ralts, Gardevoir, Nidoqueen, and Azelf Level X. Cole's opening hand contains Poketurn, Luxray GL, Lightning Energy, Azelf, 2 Cyrus's Conspiracy, and a Uxie. Quick note before we get started. My camera was giving me a lot of grief the day of the tournament, so unfortunately these runs are a bit blurry compared to the previous event. Between the narration and the images provided on screen, I thought that'd be salvageable. Next time I'll have a better setup, so without further ado, let's get into the game. Dylan wins the flip and starts us off. He draws and benches Baltoy. He benches another Ralts and uses Future Sight, looking at the top 5 cards of his deck and putting them back in any order. He passes to Cole. Cole draws for turn and plays Cyrus's Conspiracy, searching up a Pokemon Collector, Energy Gain, and a Fire Energy into his hand. He attaches a Lightning Energy and an Energy Gain to his active Luxray GL. He plays Uxie, drawing 1 card off setup. Cole uses Bite, dealing 30 damage to Ralts. Dylan draws for turn and evolves Baltoy into Claydol. He uses Cosmic Power, putting 2 cards from his hand on the bottom of his deck, drawing 3 cards. He benches Azelf, using Time Walk to look at his prize cards and taking Nidoran, replacing it with Azelf Level X. He plays Looker's Investigation, looking at Cole's hand, revealing Pokemon Collector, Psychic Energy, Fire Energy, Poketurn, 2 Cyrus's Conspiracy, and an Azelf, choosing to shuffle his own hand into his deck, drawing 5 cards. He uses Future Sight, rearranging the top 5 cards of his deck and passing the turn. Cole draws and plays Pokemon Collector, searching up a GardeGallade C, Drifblim FB, and Unknown Q, putting them into his hand. He plays Unknown Q, immediately using the Quick Pokepower to attach it to Uxie, reducing Uxie's retreat cost by 1. He benches both GardeGallade and Drifblim, attaching a Psychic Energy from his hand to Drifblim. He uses Bite, dealing 30 damage to Ralts, taking the knockout and drawing a prize card. Dylan promotes Ralts and draws for turn. He plays Rare Candy, evolving his Ralts into Gardevoir, and using Telepass, copying Cole's Pokemon Collector, searching his deck for Duskull, Ralts, and a Machop, benching all 3. He evolves Duskull into Dusclops through Duskull's Reaper Cloth. He uses Cosmic Power, putting 2 cards from his hand on the bottom of his deck, drawing 5 cards. Dylan attaches a Psychic Energy to Gardevoir. He plays Bebe's Search, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck, and searching his deck for a Pokemon, revealing Machamp, putting it into his hand. He ends his turn. Cole draws and plays Pokemon Communication, putting Azelf from his hand on top of his deck, and searching for a Pokemon, revealing Luxray G Level X, evolving his active Luxray and bringing up Machop with Luxray's Bright Look Pokepower. He plays Cyrus's Conspiracy, searching his deck, revealing a Power Spray, Lightning Energy, and a Judge, putting them into his hand. He attaches a Lightning Energy to Drifblim, and he uses Luxray's Flash Impact, knocking out Machop and drawing a prize card, and dealing 30 damage to his own Uxie. Dylan promotes Gardevoir and draws for turn. He uses Telepass to copy Cole's Cyrus's Conspiracy, searching his deck and revealing a Cynthia's Feelings and a Fighting Energy. He plays Cynthia's Feelings, shuffling his hand into his deck and drawing 8 cards. He plays Rare Candy, evolving Ralts into Gallade. He uses Luxray Ball, searching up a Dusknoir and evolving his bench Dusclops. He attaches an Expert Belt to Gardevoir. Dylan attempts to use Claydol's Cosmic Power. Cole plays Power Spray, preventing the effect. Dylan plays Uxie, drawing 4 cards from setup. He levels up Gardevoir into Gardevoir Level X. He attaches a Psychic Energy and uses Bring Down, knocking out Cole's Uxie and taking a prize card. Cole draws for turn and attaches an Energy Gain to his Drifblim. He plays Bebe's Search, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck and searching for a Pokemon, revealing Crobat G. He benches Crobat G, putting a damage counter on Dylan's Azelf with Flash Bite. He plays Poketurn, returning Luxray Level X and all cards attached to his hand, promoting Drifblim FB. He rebenches Luxray G and attaches a Lightning Energy and an Energy Gain to it. He uses Drifblim's Shadow Ball, dealing 60 damage to the benched Azelf, taking a knockout and drawing a prize card. Dylan draws for turn and uses Telepass, copying Cole's Bebe Search, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck and searching up a Ralts and putting it onto his bench. He attaches a Psychic Energy to Gardevoir. He uses Claydol's Cosmic Power, putting 2 cards on the bottom of his deck, drawing 4 cards. He plays Looker's Investigation, with Cole revealing a Cyrus's Conspiracy, Fire Energy, Judge, Luxray Level X, Poketurn, and a double Colorless Energy. Dylan decides to shuffle and draw 5 cards. He uses Gardevoir's Psychic Lock attack, taking a knockout and preventing Cole from using Poke Powers during his next turn. Cole promotes Crobat G and draws for turn. He plays Cyrus's Conspiracy, searching up both SP Radar, Bebe Search, and a Fire Energy, putting them into his hand. He uses SP Radar, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck, and finding Roserade GL, benching it and attaching a Fire Energy. He retreats into Roserade GL and uses Poison Bind, dealing 10 damage, poisoning, and preventing Gardevoir from retreating. Dylan draws and plays Warp Point, with Cole switching into Crobat G and Dylan switching into Glade. He attaches a double colorless energy to Glade. He attempts to use Gardevoir's Teleportation Poke Power. Cole responds with Power Spray, preventing the power. Dylan retreats Glade, discarding double colorless energy. He uses Telepass, copying Cole's Cyrus's Conspiracy, searching his deck for a Judge, and playing it for turn, with both players shuffling and drawing 4 cards. He uses Cosmic Power, putting 2 cards from his hand on the bottom of his deck, drawing 4 cards. Dylan uses Psychic Lock, taking the knockout on Crobat and preventing Cole from using Poke Powers during his next turn. Cole promotes Roserade and draws for turn. He attaches a double colorless energy to GardeGallade C. He benches Azelf, using its Time Walk Poke Power, failing to find. He uses Poison Bind, dealing 10 damage, poisoning, and preventing Gardevoir from retreating. Dylan draws for turn and attaches a double colorless energy to his benched Ralts. He plays Bebe Search, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck, searching up a Kirlia, and evolving his benched Ralts. He uses Cosmic Power, putting 2 cards from his hand on the bottom of his deck, drawing 3 cards. He attacks with Gardevoir's Psychic Lock, taking a knockout on Roserade and preventing Cole from using Poke Powers till his next turn. Cole promotes Luxray GL and draws for turn. He plays Premier Ball, searching his deck for a level X, revealing Luxray level X, evolving his active Luxray. He benches Unknown Q and uses the Quick Poke Power to attach it to Azelf, reducing its retreat cost by 1. Cole uses Luxray's Flash Impact, dealing 60 damage to Gardevoir and 30 to his own benched Azelf. Dylan draws for turn and plays Moonlight Stadium, giving Psychic and Dark Pokemon free retreat. He attaches a Psychic Energy to his benched Kirlia and retreats into Gallade. He uses Telepass, copying Cole's Bebe Search, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck and searching for a Pokemon, revealing a Gardevoir and evolving his benched Kirlia. He plays Lucian's Assignment, moving a Psychic Energy and a double colorless energy from his benched Gardevoir to Gallade. He uses Gallade's Psychic Cut attack, dealing 120 damage with weakness and taking the knockout on Cole's Luxray and drawing a prize card. Cole promotes GardeGallade C and draws for turn. He plays Pokemon Communication, putting an Ipalm G on top of his deck, searching his deck, and revealing Uxie, putting it into his hand. He plays Uxie, drawing 6 cards off setup. He plays SP Radar, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck, and searching for an SP Pokemon, revealing GardeGallade C level X, and leveling up his active GardeGallade. He benches another GardeGallade C, and attaches an energy gain to his active GardeGallade. He attaches a double colorless energy to his benched GardeGallade C. He uses Dragon Rush, discarding a double colorless energy and dealing 80 damage to the benched Gardevoir level X, taking the knockout, and Cole draws 2 prize cards due to Gardevoir's Expert Belt. Dylan draws for turn and plays Night Maintenance, shuffling Gardevoir level X into his deck, and uses Gardevoir's Telepass, copying Cole's Cyrus's Conspiracy, searching his deck and revealing a Roseanne's Research, putting it into his hand. He plays Bebe Search, putting a card from his hand on top of his deck, and searching up Gardevoir level X, and accidentally leveling up a bench Pokemon. He uses Claydol's Cosmic Power, putting 2 cards from his hand on the bottom of his deck, drawing 4 cards. He uses Teleportation, switching Gallade with his benched Gardevoir and retreats into Uxie, attaching a Psychic Energy to his active. He uses Psychic Restore, dealing 20 damage, putting Uxie and all cards attached on the bottom of his deck, promoting Gallade. Cole draws for turn and plays Poke Turn, returning GardeGallade C level X and all cards attached to his hand. Cole promotes GardeGallade C, levels up, and attaches an energy gain. He uses Dragon Rush, taking the knockout on Dylan's benched Claydol, and Cole wins the game. Wow, that was a really close match. Despite Cole's early game pressure, Dylan drew into an early game Rare Candy Gardevoir, and with the help of Telepass, was able to set up a resilient board state. Dylan's mid-game dominance allowed him to take out many of Cole's weaker SP Pokemon in one attack thanks to Expert Belt. However, that very tool allowed Cole to mount a comeback, closing out the game with back-to-back Dragon Rushes from GardeGallade C, sniping down Gardevoir for 2 prizes and Claydol for his final prize. Tune in tomorrow for the next round of the tournament. This has been the Holland Scientist. Until next time.